Perfect. So, welcome. Miss Mog out there, isn't it? So, we've just been talking about podcasts, and one of my favourite podcasts is every Monday, and it's with Deliciously Ella Mills, and a nutritionist friend, Rhiannon Lambert, and it's called The Wellness Scoop. It's very, very good. And what they do is they look back at the previous week and what trends have been occurring in social media and in the news about the world of wellness, which we know can be a bit of a wild west and unregulated. And they were talking about a video that had gone viral, and it sounded so funny. I thought I've got to go and find it. And it's a young man who is on Instagram, I think it was, and he's doing a parody of all of these well-being influencers and people who share their morning rituals of well-being. So it starts with him looking very intently at the camera. It's very dark, and he's like, good morning. It's 4:30 in the morning. I've just got up. I'm putting my LED mask on in a minute. Then I'm going to do my journaling, then my meditation. I've got my yoga mat rolled out. I'm going to get some direct sunlight at 7 o'clock straight into my eyeballs after taking my vitamin D and electrolytes. And so he goes on and on and on and on. And he's speaking very, very fast and, very, like I say, very intently and intensely at the camera. And on one hand, it's very funny. And on the other, it's quite sad, because you suddenly realize that this is the sort of message that a lot of people are getting about what wellness is. Unless we're doing all of these things, drinking this, eating that, meditating, yoga, all of this stuff, then we're somehow failing. And a journalist picked up on it in The Guardian, and she decided that she would work out how long it would take her if she were to do all of these things that she was supposed to do. So she calculated it over a year. And if she were to do the required amount of meditation alone, it would take her 12 days out of a year just to do this meditation practice that we ought to be doing. And again, on the one hand, it's very funny, but on the other, it's just this reminder that well-being has become an industry and another pressure to put on our already overloaded plates. And there is a condition now, a recognised condition, and Lululemon, the so-called wellness brand, did a survey amongst their staff. And over 50% of them said they were suffering from what's called wellness burnout or wellness fatigue, i.e. the pressure of being well was making them ill. And I thought that was really interesting, that, it's another stick to beat ourselves with if we don't do all of these things that we're supposed to be doing. And if we are not well, whatever that means to us, we're in some way failing. So people are afraid to say they're not feeling 100%, or they're not feeling too well, or they need to rest, because we ought to be living our most vibrant, upbeat version of ourselves' lives. So today the message is, let this practice be exactly what you need today, rather than a box ticking, I've done my hour of yoga before I go and do my matcha ritual. I mean, if you are, no judgment, great, go ahead and do it. But let this practice be exactly what you need to be. If you need to rest, rest. If you need to move your body or want to move your body, do exactly that. But do whatever is needed for your well-being, in that very much a holistic framework that yoga operates in, body, mind, and spirit. So we're going to start lying down, team. I'm just going to stay seated for a minute just so I can talk to you. Got a lovely quote to read out to you. So yeah, well-being burnout, it's real. And I know many of my yoga teacher friends who struggle to live up to whatever image or reputation yoga teachers should have. So when you're lying down on your back, maybe bring those knees up towards you, have a little rock, have a little circle or a roll, your knees side to side, or a gentle massage of your back against the floor. And then just bring your feet back down to the mat. Doing whatever position with your legs that feels comfortable. You can keep the knees bent, stretch the legs out long. Welcome to your well-being practice this morning. And I love this quote. It's written by William London. I'm not sure when it was written, but there's something about it that makes me sense it was written quite a while ago. And he wrote, to ensure good health and well-being, eat lightly, breathe deeply, live moderately, cultivate cheerfulness, and maintain an interest in life. And I thought, do you know what? It really is as simple as that, isn't it? So let's go to the breathe deeply aspect of that as we begin our practice this morning. And we know that taking those lovely deep breaths right down into the belly can do so much to soothe an unsettled nervous system. Help us drop into that being state of mind rather than doing constantly. Know that those deep breaths, as well as helping us to reset and relax, can also somewhat conversely help us to recharge and re-energize. So whatever you need today, maybe a little bit of both. Allowing the breath to flow freely down into your belly now. Letting the week go thus far. Not worrying, as we've been just talking about the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Meeting your body's needs exactly where they are today. So we can start very gently, easing into our back body. So we'll begin just by bringing the arms out level with your shoulders. Go ahead and bend your knees, walk your feet in close towards you, but we'll take them nice and wide apart. If you've not got very much room, you can always pop a little cactus in those elbows. So heels in, toes gently turned out to the side. We'll take a nice inhale, and as you exhale, drop both knees over to the right side. This lovely wide legged twist, and see if you can press that left knee a little bit more firmly down towards the floor there. And then coming back through the center. And as you come over to the left, this time it's the right knee that we're pressing just a little bit more deeply down, getting that lovely rotation through the top. So as you start to tick-tock the knees from side to side with the breath, you can decide whether or not you make that movement really slow and gentle. You can make it a little bit more energetic by pressing the hips forwards in the same direction as your knees. So you feel a little bit more arching of the back, a little bit more rotation through the spine. Obviously, if that's not working for you today, then feel free to ease off. Gently allowing the knees to roll from side to side. Let's do one more each way, one more to the right side, one more to the left side. And then we'll come all the way back through the center, bringing those knees in towards your chest now with one hand on each knee. And keeping the knees together or just a little bit apart, start to draw those circles again, drawing the knees around, feeling that lovely massage of your back against the floor. I'm on a creaky floorboard, team. It's not my back, I promise you. We'll go round in one way, feeling that nice release through the lower back, and then we'll change directions, taking those knees round the opposite way. Making again that movement as big or as small as you wish. The next time you've got your knees in towards your chest, just going to bring the hands all the way around to the back of the legs and extend the legs slowly up towards the ceiling. Maybe popping a bend in the knees as you begin to point and flex your feet there. Putting your navel down towards your spine, so you're really imprinting your lower back on the floor there. We're going to pull, strain our backs. And then keep a gentle flex of your feet now as you pull the toes towards the face. Head and shoulders stay relaxed on the floor as you slide the hands up the back of the legs, just as far up the legs as you can reach. And then slide them down the front, coming down to the tops of the thighs. So inhaling, sliding up the back of the legs. And exhale, slowly, slowly, bringing them back down. Let's do that a couple more times. A little stroke of the hands up the back. Only as far as the arms will reach. So if you've got little arms like me, it's probably not going very far, reaching up. And coming all the way back down, dropping those heels down towards your bottom so your knees are once more to your chest. Arms out level with the shoulders. Now, any back issues, feel free to return to that wide-legged twist. Otherwise, we're going to take an inhale. And as you exhale, drop the knees to hover over to the right. And then inhaling up through the center. And then a little hover over to the left. So keeping those knees tucked in, we're just going to drop them from side to side. Trying to keep the opposite shoulder blade as close to the floor as you can. It's going to lift up a little bit, and that's fine. A little drop one way, just a hover, and then a little drop the other way. Again, we'll do one more to the right side, one more over to the left. And this time, let's come back to the right and bring those knees all the way down towards the floor. Bring those knees up towards your tummy. Now you can slide those feet further away if you want less of a twist. Maybe bring that right hand onto your top thigh to press the knees down towards the earth a little more. Now you can stay there. Or maybe start to straighten that top leg, that left leg. You can slide that right hand down the leg. You can find your foot, your shin, your thigh, whatever works. And just try and lift that top hip away from you now. So you're pressing the top hip away. So we're not collapsing in the underneath waist. Nice stretch for the outer thigh and the outer hip. Oh, I can hear that rain. Oh, no. Let's bend the knees. Let's bring them back up through the center. We'll try that on the other side. So coming over to the left, bringing the knees all the way down to the floor. And again, when you're there, you can use that top hand, gently guiding the knees down a little further. And again, if there's space and it feels good, you can straighten that right leg. So the knees stay more or less stacked. And you can press that top hip away from you. So you're getting a nice stretch through the outside of the leg. Lovely, coming all the way back through center. Bringing those knees back up towards the chest. Now again, you can bring your hands onto your knees and return to those little circles, or bring the arms out level with the shoulders and now start to circle the knees. So you'll feel more work in the core this time as you circle the knees around. The further you drop those knees away from you, harder the work on the core to control that movement. So you decide how big or how small you want to make that movement. All the way around one way. And then just change direction. Take those knees around the opposite way. And they go. Using the core to control that. And then bring the knees back towards the chest. Hands around the back of the legs. Take those legs up towards the ceiling, pointing and flexing the feet. And then keeping the feet flexed. Now this time you can lift the head and shoulders up if you wish. So as you inhale and slide up the back of the legs, head and shoulders lift. And exhale, slide down the front of the legs, lower the head, lower the shoulders. Inhale, reaching up, sliding the hands up. And exhale, sliding the hands down. Doing that a couple more times. And if that feels good, you can rest the head and shoulders on the floor. Let's do that one more time, sliding the hands up the back of the legs. And then all the way down, bending both knees. And this time bringing both hands onto your right knee. And extend that left leg out in front of you. And just let that heel hover off the floor. Flex both feet nice and strongly. And then again, option to lift head and shoulders up, bringing your nose towards that right knee. Stretching out long through that left leg. And then we'll drop the heel, drop the head. Just start to open and close that right knee. A bit of work into the hips, seeing how that feels this morning. Now, the next time you've opened that right knee out to the right, we're going to pause. Now you can stay there, just gently pulling the knee down towards your armpit, or come up with me into a half happy baby, taking the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. You can catch hold around the back of the calf or the thigh if you can't quite reach your foot this morning. So whatever we're doing, that right knee is being drawn down towards that right armpit. Regardless of what the leg is doing, you decide what suits you best today. And bringing both hands to the back of that right leg, we're going to straighten the right leg up towards the ceiling, coming back into that hamstring stretch, pushing the heel away from you. You can always rebend the other knee if that's more comfortable for you. Lovely. Bringing that right foot to the floor, knee is bent, and then sliding the left foot up to join it. So both feet close towards your bottom. Arms down by the side of you. As you inhale, let's lift the hips, coming into that little shoulder bridge, pushing the hips up. And then exhale, rolling your way back down. A little massage through the back body. A couple more times like that, lifting the hips on an inhale, pressing into your feet. And then exhale, rolling down. You want to start adding those arms, reaching up and back as you lift the hips up, feel free. And then as you lower the hips, we bring the hands down. Whatever we're doing, let's do that twice more, so you can always just lift the hips or reach the arms back, getting that lovely stretch. Last time, inhaling, lifting and lengthening, and exhaling, rolling back down. Now this next time, we're going to lift the hips, reach the arms back, and then circle the arms out to the side, and then bring them all the way underneath you. If that's available, shuffling those shoulder blades underneath you so you can interlace the hands underneath your back. You can always just hold in a bridge. That little squeeze at the bottom. If your hands are underneath you, just see if you can bring your chin to your chest, your chest to your chin. Then release the arms. Maybe lift the heels, walk your toes a little closer towards you, and then roll your way down through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Lovely. Give those knees a hug, maybe have a little rock. And bringing both hands onto your left knee, we're going to flex the feet as you extend the right leg to hover. So that heel is just off the floor. We've got the option again to lift the head and shoulders up off the floor, bringing your nose towards that left knee this time. That's it. And then drop the head, drop the heel. And again, we'll just start to roll that left knee open from side to side. Once more, getting into the hip. Now again, you can just pull that knee over to the left or join me in that half happy baby. You can take hold around the back of the leg again if you can't reach the foot this morning. So again, we're getting that nice hip opener, whatever you choose to do with the leg. Drawing that knee down towards your left armpit there. That's it. And then we'll bring both hands around the back of the leg. Extend that leg up towards the ceiling, flexing the foot strongly away from you, so you're getting that nice stretch in the hamstring. That's it. And then lowering that left foot to the floor. Sliding the right foot up to join it. So again, we've got both knees bent, heels to your bottom. And this time we're going to interlace the hands and just cradle your head in your hands. So your elbows are nice and wide. So pressing into your elbows, we're going to lift the hips, coming up into that little shoulder bridge. And then as you lower the hips, we're going to lift the head and shoulders up and point the elbows towards the knees. So dropping the head, lifting the hips, elbows nice and wide as you lift them up. And then drop the hips and round on up. Doing that a couple of times. So again, just making sure you're not pulling on your neck as you lift those hips up and down. Rounding the spine. Let's do that twice more if that works for you. If you want to just keep the head and shoulders on the floor, stick with your bridge, that's fine. Let's do this one more time, lifting the hips up and then rolling down, lifting head and shoulders, and then lower the head, lower the shoulders. Maybe extend the arms and legs. Come into that lovely full body stretch just for a moment, circling off your wrists and your ankles there. A few clicks and crunches as we circle one way and then all the way around the opposite direction. And then hugging the knees up and in. We're going to come up and over to a seated position. So you can roll to one side or roll up. Okay, so I'm going to sit with right leg in front of left leg initially. We're going to do a little bit for our shoulder mobility. So any shoulder impingement, do as much or as little as you can. So we're going to try and keep the head still as you reach the right arm out to the right. Now slice the arm across to the opposite shoulder. Elbow stays nice and high. We lift the elbow up as you bring the hands behind the head. Yeah. Over to the right shoulder and then out to the side. So across, behind, shoulder and out. So we're trying not to drop the head forwards as you bring the arm behind you. So maybe you could just bring it to the top of the head if coming behind you feels a little bit too much today. Let's do that twice more. So it's a lovely one to bring the shoulder through its range of movement. Last time. Ooh, getting better. Reaching that right arm out. Let's come into a side stretch. Windmilling that left arm up. It's a really good one to practice. It takes your shoulder through its whole kind of range of mobility. Stretching that top arm away. Coming back to center, both hands coming behind you this time. So pressing into your hands, lifting the chin, lifting the chest. And maybe you stay there, just looping the shoulders back, or you can lift the hips up off the floor, keeping the gaze up so we're not dropping the head too far back there. And then drop the hips. So we've got the right leg in front, remember? Give those knees a little hug, a little squeeze. And then we'll swap sides. So this time left leg is in front. And we'll try that little shoulder mobility on the other arm. It might feel very different. So left arm out to the side. Elbow stays high as you come across, behind, shoulder, and out. Yeah. So this one for me, I'm mirroring you. So this is my right arm. So I use it more because I'm right-handed. And I find this one harder to bring up and over behind me. You might find the same. So we'll do a couple more. So I've been practicing this one to take a little bit of strain off my shoulder. Keeping the arm out to the side. We'll come over into that side stretch, taking that top arm over the top of the head. Really draw down through the opposite sit bone there. Lovely, coming back up through the center, bringing both hands behind you. Again, we'll push into the hands, lift the chin. And again, option to press the knees into the floor as you come up. And then slowly, slowly release. Give those knees one last hug. And then find your way over onto all fours. Hands under shoulders. Now you can keep those knees straight under the hips, or I'm going to take them a little bit wider apart just to give myself more space here. And start to move the body round in a figure of 8 kind of shape. So you can make that as sinuous and fluid as you wish as you just start to move into the body now. Drawing that figure of 8. Keep closing down the eyes here so you can really just get into that feeling of how that feels on the body. And then just change direction. This is when it can get quite interesting as you change direction there. That little shape, whatever it is to you, around the opposite way. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. Really just getting into the side of the body, getting that body moving fluidly. And then coming back into that tabletop. So bring those knees underneath the hips if you had them slightly wider apart. Pressing into your hands, let's come into our cat-cow. So as you inhale, lifting the chest as you tilt the tailbone up. And then exhale, rounding like the angry cat. And just continue now to move with your breath, pushing the chest forwards as you lift the tailbone. And then tucking everything under. Just a few more. Seeing how that feels this morning. Oh, that feels nice to release the back. Inhaling forwards. And exhaling, tucking under. Lovely. So let's lift the chin, lift the chest. And then this next time, round the back, coming back into that child pose, keeping the arms forward. So you've got the option just to relax the arms in front of you, or bring the palms together. So you're on the blades of the little fingers. Palms are together as though you're in a prayer position. And then bend the elbows, bring the thumbs toward the back of the head like a little sharp fin. And then see if you can press your elbows towards the top corners of your mat. So you're pressing those elbows forwards towards the top of your mat. Getting a little bit of stretch between the shoulder blades there. Lovely. And then releasing those arms and coming all the way back up onto all fours. Okay. So extending that right leg all the way back behind you. Coming up into the belly, take an inhale. Exhale as you bring that knee to your chest, rounding the spine. Leg goes back. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale to squeeze everything in. Lovely. Twice more. Rounding up, really closing that gap between your nose and your knee last time. Lovely. This next time, take the leg straight back behind you, bend the knee. Now flex the foot as though you want to kick the foot up towards the ceiling. Really press into your hands and firm up through the belly so we're not sagging the back. We're really working the core to keep that leg extended up, working into the hamstring. And then slowly, slowly, knee to chest. And step or help that foot forwards, top of the mat, between your hands there. Rising up into that low lunge, sweep the arms up. Maybe just stay there, reaching the arms up, or palms come together again. Again, thumbs behind the head. And you can maybe let the hips sink as you lift the chest, coming into that lovely supported back bend, only if that feels good. Hands just behind your head there. And then reaching both arms up, take an inhale. And as you exhale, hands to the inside of that front foot. Yeah. You might want to wiggle that front foot a little further forwards as you inhale. And then exhale, move the hips back. So we've got a slightly different hamstring stretch here. Inhale, let the hips drop forwards, bend the knee. And then exhale, rock back twice more. So hands on the inside of that leg. Last time. Now this next time, let's come forward, bend the knee, glue your right knee against your upper arm. Left arm opens up towards the ceiling. Yeah, getting a nice hip stretch. And then bringing both hands down. You're going to sweep that right leg all the way back behind you, level with the hip. And then take it out to the right. So we're in our gate pose. Right leg out to the right. Hands on the floor underneath you. Right arm this time. We're going to reach up. Inhale. And then exhale, feed the arm through. Coming into our thread needle twice more. So we're getting a little stretch on the inner thigh. Yeah, opening the arm. And then feeding it through. Last time. Lovely. Reaching the fingertips away. Taking the arm up. Bringing both hands underneath you now. And we're going to tuck the left toes under. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, round the spine. Push into your hands. Nice. Couple more times. Inhale. And exhale. So know you can stay here, or inhale, pull the chest forwards. And as you exhale, round the back and see if you can bring your bottom towards that back heel, that left heel. And then inhale, we rock forwards, arch the back. Exhale, rounding and maybe sitting back. Let's do that one more time. Be mindful with any knee or ankle issues. Inhale. Exhale, rippling back. This time we'll come forwards, keeping the left toes tucked under. We're going to lift up into a little asymmetrical downward dog. So keep that right leg where it is as you push the hips up. And then bringing both feet into your downward facing dog. Have a little pedal out through the feet there, bending one knee and then the other as you get that nice stretch through the back of the legs. And then lifting the heels nice and high, roll over your toes, down onto all fours. Flatten your feet as you take a child pose, bottom to heels. Do a little seated sun salute. So slide the hands toward the knees. And bring the hands onto the knees or at the back of the mat, sitting on your heels in that hero pose. Lovely. Hands slide up the thighs. Inhale as you push the chest forwards. We arch. Exhale, round. Slide the hands to the knee. Sweep both arms up. Inhale. Upper arms stay by the ears as you come down into that child pose. Back onto all fours. Inhale. Exhale as you come down onto your belly, elbows hug in. Coming up through cobra. And back into child pose, bottom to heels. Slide the hands to the knees. Inhale as you pull the chest forwards. Hands slide up. Exhale to round. Circling out and up with the arms. Inhale. And as you exhale again, keep those arms where they are as we bring the body down. Rising up, inhale to all fours. And again, elbows close to the body as you come down onto your tummy. Rising up through cobra and pushing back. Child pose, adding on this next time. Inhale as you arch the back, slide the hands up the thighs. And then exhale to round. Sweep both arms up. Exhale, coming down into that child pose. Reaching the arms, coming up onto all fours. And this time as you come down onto your tummy, slide those elbows underneath your shoulders, finding your way into Sphinx pose. Dropping the weight into the hips, lifting the chest. We're going to bend that right elbow, so bring your right forearm across the top of the mat. Left heel comes in towards your bottom. You can reach around with that left hand, catch the foot, and then bring the head down onto that little pillow you've made with your right arm. Bringing that heel with you, pressing the hips down as you lengthen the thigh away from you. Getting that nice stretch in your quad. Lovely. And then slowly release that leg. Let's come back up into our Sphinx pose. Elbows under your shoulders, weight dropping into your hips, chest lifted. Then this time it's your left elbow we bend, right heel to bottom, see if you can catch the foot. And then we ease our way down, bringing that heel in towards your bottom. And stretch out through your thigh there, through your quad. And then releasing that leg. Let's come all the way back up onto all fours. And we'll do that little ditty on the other side. So this time it's going to be the left leg. We extend back behind you. Try not to roll the hip open as you inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Round the back. And again, inhale, extend. And exhale to squeeze. Twice more, closing the gap between your nose and your knee. Last time. Bringing that knee forwards. And now extend the leg back. Bend the knee. Again, without sagging in the middle, we'll flex the foot. And so you want to plant the foot up towards the ceiling. Pressing into your hands, navel to spine. bringing that knee all the way in towards the chest, and then slowly step it forwards between your hands, top of the mat. Reaching the arms up, so we're in that low lunge. And again, you can stay there, all palms together, hands behind the head. And again, you might let the hips sink as you lift the chest, supporting the head in your hands there. Reaching the arms up as you inhale, and exhale, hands to the inside of your front foot. So go ahead and have a little wiggle of that front foot a little further away from you. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, rocking back, lifting the toes. So again, as you rock back and forth, you can keep a nice bend in that front leg if it feels good. Do that twice more. Moving the hips back. Ooh, one side might feel different. This next time, let's keep the front knee bent. Gluing your knee against your upper arm will open the right arm up towards the ceiling. So getting a nice hip stretch. Lovely. Bringing both hands down. That right leg, left leg, sorry, we're going to shoot all the way back behind you. And then take it out to the left. Lining up your big toe roughly with your knee. So this time, left arm opens up. Inhale. Exhale, ready for that thread the needle, feed the arm through. And again, lifting up. Big breath in as you open the chest. And exhale to feed. Let's do that one more time. Feeding the arm all the way through. And then taking the arm up. Then tuck the back toes under as you bring both hands underneath you. Inhale as you lift the chest. So really try and tuck your tailbone up. And then rounding the spine. So you're tucking the tailbone under. So doing that a few more times. You're inhaling, really rolling the tailbone open, up. And exhale to tuck it under. So we've got the option to start moving backwards. Inhale as you lift the chest. Exhale, start to lower back, bottom to that right heel if you wish. And then inhale, we come forwards, arch in the back. Exhale to round. Do that one more time. And then coming forwards, keeping that left leg where it is, we just lift the hips. So we're in a little asymmetrical downward dog. And then bring both feet underneath you into your downward facing dog. Again, having a little pedal out through the feet there, maybe a little sway of the hips. Now you can always drop to all fours, or this time we'll ripple forwards to plank, shoulders over your wrists. And then knees down, chest down. Coming into your cobra as you inhale. And exhale to lower. Back onto all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely. So this time, right leg floats up and back behind you. Gonna bend the knee, open the hip. So drop the heel to your bottom. By keeping the weight even through your hands as you lift that top knee a little higher. And then knee to chest. Step or help that foot forwards, top of the mat. I'm going to come into a high lunge, but you can always drop the back knee down. You're joining me in that high lunge. We rise on up. That's it. Lovely. Bend in the front knee. Maybe again, you just keep reaching up through the arms or palms together, hands behind the head. And again, drop the head into your hands. Keeping those elbows pointing up towards the ceiling there. And then reaching both arms up. Hands come to the heart. Okay, little balance challenge. So if balance is feeling wibbly wobbly today, as you shift the weight into that front foot, maybe you keep the back foot on the floor, or joining me in warrior 3, lifting that back leg as you lower the front body. Slowly bring that left knee through all the way up towards your chest. And then bringing both feet down underneath you. Lovely team. Letting the arms rest in front of you. Now keep a real softness in the wrists as you inhale. We're just going to float the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to lower. And the palms are away from you like you're painting a wall. So as we inhale, we float the arms up. And exhale, lowering down. So again, you can stay here. Or as you inhale, lift the heels as you float the arms up. And then exhale, lowering the heels as you lower the arms. A little dance there. Inhale, lifting up. And exhaling to lower. Let's do that one more time. Lifting the arms as you inhale. And exhaling to lower. This time circling the arms out and up. Take a breath in. And we'll come down into that forward fold. Lifting up halfway. And exhale to fold. Let's rise on up, sweeping the arms out and up. And then hands coming down to heart. Lovely. Adding on, inhale, reach the arms up. This time swim the hands behind you and interlace them. So maybe you just stay here, tugging the knuckles down. Or as you drop the knees, take a forward fold, lift the arms up and over. If that's too much, just slide the hands down the back of the legs like we did when we were lying down. Pushing those knuckles away from you. Then releasing the arms, fingertips to floor, shins or thighs as you lift up halfway. And then stepping back into your downward facing dog. Option to join me, rippling forwards to plank. Inhale. Exhale, knees lifted or lowered. You decide as you come down onto your tummy. Find your cobra or upward facing dog. We're going to meet in downward dog. Pushing those hips up and back. Pausing there for a moment, finding that nice stretch through the legs. And this time, left leg floats up behind you. Bend the knees, you open the hips. So we're just pulling that top knee back behind you. Lovely. And then slowly bring that knee to your chest and step that foot forwards. So again, you decide high or low lunge. Joining me when you're ready. Sweeping the arms up, whatever you're doing with that back knee. And then again, hands together, thumbs behind the head. Drop the head back. Let those elbows point up towards the ceiling. And then sweeping the arms up. Hands come down to the heart. Lovely. So again, you maybe just shift the weight forwards. Maybe keep the back foot on the floor, or again, join me in that warrior three, lifting the back leg up. And slow and steady, bringing that knee through. Lovely. And then placing the foot on the floor. Releasing the arms. So again, you decide how far you take this as you inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, slowly releasing down. Picking up the heels this time. Inhale as you float up. And exhale, slowly release. Twice more if that feels good this morning. Rising up. And then slowly coming down. Last time. Lovely. Now this next time, let's bring the hands onto the hips as you bring both feet underneath you. Oh, I've got a rolled up trouser. So you decide, according to how balanced you feel today, pick up your right heel. Option, keep the ball of foot on the floor. And we just open and close the knee. If you want a little bit more, we can lift the knee. And same action. Just a little bit more balance required. Opening and closing that knee to the side. Lovely. Let's keep that knee open. Option one, right foot taps in front of left foot, foot to floor. Option 2, flex foot over the knee, and we open the right knee out to the side. So you decide whatever works for you, hands to heart. So maybe we stay there, little version of tree, or coming into flying pigeon, start to bend that supporting knee. Send your bottom back like you're trying to sit on a little tiny bar stool behind you, pressing that right knee out to the right. And maybe reach the arms out in front of you. So the fingertips are reaching forwards, the hips are reaching back behind you. Nice, hands come back to heart. We're going to straighten up. Right leg steps behind left leg this time, or feet underneath you, sweeping the arms up. Taking hold of that right wrist, inhale, pull up. Exhale, come into that lovely side bend, so soften both knees. Lovely, reaching the arms up, inhale. Now if you can, keep the legs crossed as you come down into a forward fold. Join me there, otherwise feet apart. Lifting up halfway, inhale so you can slide the hands up the legs, and then exhale to fold. Twice more so you can bring your hands up onto your thighs as you push the chest forwards. And then release, last time. Slowly going to rise on up, sweeping the arms out and up. Hands to heart as you separate the feet. Woo! Give those legs a little shake. And we'll try that on the other side. So again, hands to hips. Left heel this time. Maybe again, it's just a little roll. Or we pick up the knee and we open and close. So we're trying to keep the body relatively still as you just bring the movement into the hip. And then as you open the knee, option 1, left foot in front, or ankle above knee. So that knee, same action, we're just getting a nice hip opener. Hands to heart. Lovely. So we can stay there, or slowly, slowly start to bend that supporting leg, sending your bottom back. Pressing that knee out to the side, and then maybe reach the arms forwards. Lovely. Slowly we rise. We're going to step the foot behind, sweeping the arms up, catching hold of your left wrist. Inhale as you reach up. And exhale, bend the knees as you come over the top. Lovely. Inhale to center. And exhale, we come down into that forward fold. Keep the legs crossed if you can, if not, separate them. Lifting up halfway, inhale. And exhale to fold. Inhale as you lift the chest. And exhale to fold. Last time. And exhale, lovely. Let's rise on up, slow and steady, sweeping those arms out and up. Then bringing the hands to the heart, separate the feet. Well done, team. Give those legs a little shake, shake. And then sweeping the arms up, take an inhale. Exhale, we fold. Lifting up halfway. Let's step back into your downward facing dog. From your downward dog, right leg to sky. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Shift the weight forwards. Twice more, leg up and back. Inhale. Exhale, shift the weight forwards. Lovely, last time. Inhale. This next time, setting up for pigeon. So bringing that right knee behind the right wrist. We're going to bring that shin diagonally across the mat. Slide the other leg back behind you. Flattening out your toes. Remember, you can bend both knees. And just hold up in deer pose here. Or coming down onto your forearms, resting your head on your hands. By all means, lie down on your back, take reclined pigeon with your right ankle over your left knee, if that's more available to you today. Just allow the body a moment to begin to settle into that pigeon pose, rolling that left hip toward the floor. Take a few nice deep breaths there. By all means, stay in that pigeon pose or come up onto your hands so the chest is lifted. Then bending that back knee, bringing your heel to your bottom, and you might be able to reach around with your left hand and bring that heel a little closer in towards you, coming into mermaid pose or a version of. It's a strong thigh stretch, so feel free to stay down in that pigeon pose. You've got hold of the foot. Let's all slowly release the leg. We'll all lift the chest, both hands underneath you, as you lift back up into your downward dog, and do whatever movement you need there, maybe a little movement through the hip there. Or try that on the other side, so left leg up and back, inhale. Exhale, bring that knee to the chest as you shift forwards, twice more, inhale. And exhale as you come forwards, lovely, one more time. This next time, finding that pigeon pose, so knee behind the wrist, shin across the mat. Coming down as you straighten out the back leg, or bend the knees in deer pose. Find your way down into that pigeon pose, making that little pillow for your head. One side might feel very different, so by all means, make any adjustments. Ease your way. Again, by all means, lay down there, resting head or hands, or rock yourself up on your hands, lift the chest. But this time it's the right heel that comes in, and you might be able to catch the foot and bring that foot a little closer in towards you, or not, as the case may be. Slowly we release the leg. Let's all roll onto that left side this time. So you can sweep both legs out in front of you. Oh, got me socks on, my feet a little cold. Let's sweep both arms up with the legs out in front of you. Coming down into your forward fold. So maybe you bend both knees generously as you bring yourself down over the legs. And I stretch out through the hamstrings. Not a nice day out there today, team, is it? Bit of a wet Wednesday. Slowly, let's roll our way back up. Bring that right heel in towards you, giving that knee a nice hug. And then left hand or elbow, other hand behind you. So we're twisting towards that right knee, stretching out nice and long through the opposite knee. And again, by all means, stay there, or left hand takes hold of the outside of the right foot. You might be able to straighten the leg, and maybe even reach the other arm back behind you. We sit forward, so we're not leaning back. Lovely, coming back to center, rebend the knee. Let's drop the knee. Open out to the side this time. Reaching the arms up, take an inhale. And exhale, coming down over that left leg. You're coming up to center, sliding that left foot in, so soles of the feet together, holding onto the shins as you lift the chest. And then maybe take a little forward fold, pressing your knees and your elbows together there, just opening up into those knees. Hands to the knees. Bring those knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a nice hug. And this time we'll keep the left knee bent as you stretch the right leg out. Coming into that twist to the left this time. So again, maybe your right hand takes hold of the foot. Extend the leg, and you can even reach the other arm back behind you if you wish. Forwards on your sit bones there as you rebend the knee. That knee drop out to the side this time as you reach the arms up. So this time we're coming over the right leg. Coming all the way back up, bringing the soles of the feet together. So this time as you take that little lean forward, you can keep your hands on your shins and your elbows against your knees, or reach the arms out in front of you so you're rounding your back, fingertips to floor. Slowly coming back in, giving those knees a hug. Extending the legs in front of you, making sure you've got some space behind you. Interlace the hands, free up your point fingers. So we reach forwards over the toes and then roll your way down through the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Reaching the arms back up above the head. It's that lovely full body stretch. And then go ahead and give your right knee a nice hug in towards the chest. Try and relax your shoulders. Give that knee a nice squeeze. And then we'll swap sides, sliding that right leg out, bringing that left knee in. And bringing both knees to the chest, hands behind the legs. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Flex the feet. That nice stretch in the hamstrings. Slowly, slowly, bring the feet to the floor. Feel free to just widen your feet, let your knees knock together, or stretch both legs out in front of you, finding a moment in Shavasana. So whatever works for you today. Closing down the eyes. Coming back to those lovely deep breaths as we allow the body a moment to just rest and digest the effects of a practice. Slowly, slowly just begin to bring some movement back into your body. Maybe some little wiggles into your fingers, your toes. When you're ready, bring those knees back up and in towards the chest. And then take a little roll. Lie on one side. Oh. Let's take a nice deep breath, circling the arms all the way out. Ah, bringing hopefully that sense of well-being down into your heart, carrying it forwards into the rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you too. You can go and do your LED masks and juicing and matcha and whatever it is now.